The four fundamental forces of human personality. The four fundamental forces of human personality. What is this video going to be comprised of? It's going to be comprised of knowledge regarding the foundational aspects of human personality. The foundational aspects of human personality. The first thing I want to read off to you here is a few notes that I have in regarding personality. Starting with the definition of the word. The definition of personality, I wrote it down for you. It defines as the combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual's distinctive character. The word personality defines as the combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual's distinctive character. The combination of characteristics, yes. Synonymous words are disposition, nature, identity, makeup, psyche. Those are synonymous words for the word personality. Next, the Latin origin is, or it's a Latin origin word. It says personalis, meaning of a person. Personalis, meaning of a person. The combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual's distinctive character. Disposition, nature, identity, makeup, psyche. Latin origin, personalis, meaning of a person. I have a few things here that I also looked up to try to contribute to the meaning, overall meaning of this video. And online, or should I say, the information that forms the infrastructure of this world has a few ideas out here for us to look at. Or should I say, they label and describe how our natural base character, or how our natural base personality, how it goes about to within and throughout this world, so to speak. They have things like the Big Five and or Ocean model personality traits. It starts off with openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Those are the Big Five. Ocean, O-C-E-A-N. That's what they call it. They call it the Big Five and or the Ocean model personality traits. I just want to read them off to you. Where do I get this one from? When I looked it up, the source was just the AI. I'm quite sure there's a website that talks about the Big Five and or the Ocean model personality traits, but I'm going to look more into it. The next one. This is the one that I would like to put more detail upon before I talk about my knowledge regarding the four foundational personality traits. This source came from www.sciencedirect.com. www stands for World Wide Web. Com stands for commercial. So in other words, World Wide Web, science.sciencedirect.commercial. Yeah, that's what the com stands for. Commercial. The org stands for organization. Moving on. So this one's called, or they have this one titled as the four temperament personalities. Temperaments. The four temperament personality traits, or there's multiple names for it. And this is also, like I said, this is the one that I'm going to give you some further notes on. The four temperament personality traits, or they call it the four core personalities, or they call it the four natures of personality. The four natures of personality is what they call them. Fours. The first one being sanguine, or S-A-N-G-U-I-N-E. Sanguine, meaning it means being optimistic and social. It also has a connection to the air element for introverts. That's what it says, their information. I'm going to debunk it. The second one is choleric, being short-tempered and irritable. That's of the fire element, extrovert. The third one is melancholic, being analytic and quiet. The earth, connection to the earth element, and it's of the thinker. And lastly, the phlegmatic, being relaxed and peaceful, connection to the water element, or feeler. Those are the four natures of personality: sanguine, choleric, melancholic, and phlegmatic. Melancholy, huh? The next one, I'm gonna give you some more notes on that one right there. The next one is called the 7 core personality factors. I got this source from www.sigmaassessmentsystems.com. That's what it's called, sigmaassessmentsystems.com. Commercial. And the first one is agreeableness. Second one is emotional stability. Third one, extravision, like it was in the ocean. Agreeableness is also in the ocean one as well. Then the fourth one is honesty/humility. The fifth one is industriousness. The sixth one is, I didn't even get a chance to look up how to pronounce these words properly, but it's spelled METHODICALNESS. Methodicalness. There we go. I believe that's how you pronounce that word properly. Methodicalness. That's the sixth one. And the seventh one is openness to experience. Openness is also a part of the Big Five. A lot of this is connected in how they label and describe our personality. Remember, this information is of this world, labeling and describing our natural personality traits. That's what this information is. They have all this information online that labels and describes how we are naturally, meaning they. Who are they? Them, who march upon the foundation of death. The individuals who march upon the foundation of death gave us these personality traits to label and describe who and or what we are in their world. Next one, the 4 views of personality. Source, www.verywellmind.com. That's what the website is called. That's the source I got this information from, verywellmind.com. And from verywellmind.com, there are 4 views of personality, are psychoanalytic, humanistic, third trait, and fourth social cognitive. Once again, first one is psychoanalytic, second one is humanistic, third one is trait, and the fourth one is social cognitive. The 4 views of personality, that's what it's called. I just wanted to read that off to you, but the first one, I'm at the second one here. The one that came from ScienceDirect.com, called the 4 natures of personality. I want to debunk this one. So, the first one called sanguine, the definition of the word, it literally says optimistic or positive, especially in an apparently bad or difficult situation. But here's the thing though, archaically that word means bloodthirsty. Remember, this world, the foundation of this world is always trying to convince you to love what hates and murders. This world is always trying to convince you subliminally, secretly, and in your face to be grateful and happy for things that hate and murder for no reason. This is another reason why I'm debunking this, or taking the time to do so. The first one is sanguine. Defines as optimistic or positive, especially in an apparently bad or difficult situation. Apparently bad or difficult situation shouldn't even exist in our world. Our world should be in a good situation at all times, or good grounds at all times. That's how our world should be. It's ours. The second one, choleric. Its definition, it says bad-tempered or irritable, hot, quick or short-tempered, irascible, 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 meaning having or showing a tendency to be easily angered. Remember, anger is artificial, anger is external, anger is outside of you, trying to get in to control you and or regulate how you behave in this world. So, for someone to be hot or quick-tempered, what all is required to encourage a human being to be foundationally hot-tempered or irascible? Years of putting certain cartoons into your mind, of cartoon characters being angry for no reason and looking at the screen and showing themselves huffing and puffing and then turning away and walking around with that anger. Little children see this on the cartoon, and that's what encourages your hot-temperedness right there. Virtually all of the people who are so-called, quote-unquote, in charge of this world, the people who are in charge of this world, instead of calling you white people or black sellouts or melanated sellouts, I'm just going to call you death people. You're just death people now. Because all you want is everything like you to die. And everything in nature to die. So I'm just going to call you death people now. So the death people put this information online about being choleric. bad-tempered or irritable, hot, quick, or short-tempered, irascible, having or showing a tendency to be easily angered. But remember, your easily angered self can only derive from an external source if it's programming you since a child to be quick or hot-tempered. You follow what I'm saying? Or irascible. Irascible is a new word for me. Irascible, once again. The third one, melancholic. It defines as feeling or expressing pensive sadness. Pensive sadness. Engaged in, involving. Let me see. The word pensive defines as engaged in, involving, or reflecting deep or serious thought. Melancholy. And the word melancholy, because I read you the word melancholic first, melancholy defines as a feeling of pensive sadness, typically with no obvious cause. And then it says Greek origin, melis, melan, meaning black. And then also chole, Khole, meaning bile. So in other words, melancholy or to be melancholic, which is what they labeled and described as one of our root characteristical traits or one of our root personality traits, melancholy defines as black bile. It's some of the most negative things you can possibly hear right now. Remember, they are using these words to label and describe who we are according to the way their eyes see us as how we should be. You follow what I'm saying? Openness to what? And the fourth one being phlegmatic, spelled Phlegmatic, meaning of a person having a unemotional and stolidly calm disposition. The word stolidly, spelled Stolidly, meaning of a person, calm. It says dependable and showing little emotion or animation. Latin origin, Stultus. It means foolish. So that, in other words, the word phlegmatic, when you look at all the words and then look at the word stolidly, and then go down or study more down to its Latin origin, stultus or stultus, or Stultus. These words are still a little bit difficult to memorize or say out loud properly. It just means foolish. These here four natures of personality that they have online to label and describe us are some very, very subliminally, I want to say, anchor-like words. And whenever I call something an anchor, I mean something that's trying to drag you down to something lower than what you are and keep you there for the rest of your days. That's what I mean by something anchor-like. There must be other words to label and describe a person whose personality trait is like this, but from what I can label and describe now, it's a lot of anchor information. It's a lot of anchor-like information. Sanguine, caloric, melancholic, phlegmatic. They say that these are our four core personality traits, but in actuality, it just sounds like more slave lingo. That's what it sounds like. So now, I want to take some time to tell you about what I believe to be the four fundamental forces of human personality. The combination that makes a person, in other words. So I personally believe there is a good energy, a negative energy, a balanced energy, and a dead energy, or emotionless energy, or a not moving energy. I've been talking about this for quite a while now, and I've added some more details to it to make even more sense. So the positive energy will be that of the waters. The negative energy will be that of the fires. The balanced energy will be that of the earth and or the rock element. And the space you are in will be of the prana and or the air element. You follow what I'm saying? Positive, negative, balanced, dead, or motionless. Or the space you are in. Right now, currently, you are all in a dead space, motionless, not doing what is right in your air or in your prana or in your spirit. Now, Their information right here, they have sanguine being optimistic or positive, which is being positive for being bloodthirsty. Because remember, all of these words, every word that they use, all of the definitions of the word, they can be applied at one time, or they can be used to label and describe a situation that the word would be best fit to describe the situation, if that makes sense to you. Meaning when they use words, they combine the definitions into one as they're telling it to you, or they can use the word to label and describe a situation that is transpiring. Like for example, the word black also has a subheading definition or another definition within the word that just says evil and wicked. That's what it says in the word black. It just says evil and wicked as a definition. All of those definitions in each of these one words, when they are saying these things to you, they are using all of them or just a couple, but you'll never know unless you know the definitions of each word that they are using. So, like I said, sanguine is based on the air element. I don't necessarily buy that. Chloric is based on the fire element. That can be understandable. However, like I said, all styles of anger or quick-tempered, all of that is what we get from this world, the programming. You take all the programming away, we won't have any style of this hot-tempered whatever madness that they're talking about to us. You follow what I'm saying? The melancholic trait, their reading on that was the earth element, being analytic and quiet. I don't believe that either. Because let's not forget, the planet and or the element in which they're trying to use this word to associate with the earth element doesn't match what it actually is, the rock solid grounds you stand on thereof. Your epistemology should not be seen as rock. Your epistemology should be seen as the water. You follow me? Meaning the melancholic read should not be an earth element, it should be the water element. And then phlegmatic, they have as the water element. Phlegmatic, being relaxed and peaceful. They said that's the water element, or that's the water element's characteristics. And then when you look at the word properly, stolidly, meaning foolish, there's nothing foolish about the waters. So here's how I have it put together. So like I said, the positive emotion, the positive energy, that's of the waters to me. The negative energy, that's the fire to me. The earth energy or the rock solid energy, that's the balance to me, justice. And then the air element, the heart chakra, the space you are in, that's the fourth one, in my opinion. Then also too want to take it with the root chakras and combine them together as well, or the root chakra, sacral, solar plexus, and heart chakras. The root chakra harbors the earth element. The sacral chakra harbors the water element. The solar plexus harbors the fire. And then you have the heart chakra, which harbors the air element. Those four right there. What do you call fire in its most subtle state? Warmth. What do you call fire in its most aggressive state? What burns? Sapphire or seraphim? Sure. What is fire in its most aggressive state? What destroys and burns and harms? Righteous rage spiritually. Fire in its most aggressive state spiritually could be labeled and described as righteous rage. But then you got, and that's connected to the solar plexus chakra, where the sun element is, the sun being in the sky. You dig what I'm saying? I am also my four fundamental forces of human personality also label and describe our connection to nature. This one is slave lingo. Therefore, four natures of personality is slave lingo. You cannot label and describe. Well, you can do whatever you want. It's evil to sit here and prejudiciously label and describe how all of humanity behaves because you want them to behave a certain way that'll keep them stuck in a line that will move them to an early grave if they stay in it. Moving along. So, the rock element. This is also going to change up a few things as well that I had been talking about recently, because I'm aligning it up more. I'm realigning with nature more, using these words that gives me the abilities to do so. You follow what I'm saying? The personality traits of nature itself, I am realigning with them. What this here 4 fundamental forces of human personality. The 4 fundamental forces of human personality. So check it, right? At the root chakra, the earth element, that will be your balance energy now. I kept saying that balance was in the conscious mind, balance was in the internal. I was right to some degree, but then simultaneously, when you look at the information even more closely, you'll find that balance is actually our grounds that we stand upon. Balance are the grounds that we stand upon. The fire energy is in our conscious mind. The water energy is of our subconscious mind. And the rock element is of our grounds that we stand upon. The heart chakra is the space that we are all in. The heart chakra is the space that we are all in. Principle, heart of hearts, universe. Allow the life force principle to resettle. Allow the life force principle to resettle and reclaim and reestablish itself as the most dominating force within our reality again. Allow the life force to dominate our reality? Yeah. Allow the heart chakra to be the space that we are in versus the devil's air, the foul oxygen thereof. You follow what I'm saying? Notice that the heart chakra is above those bottom 3 as well, meaning the space you are in should be above where you are currently, so to speak. If this makes sense to you thus far. The 4 fundamental forces of human personality. What are they? The root chakra, balance energy, rock. The sacral chakra, intuition, water. Positive. Third, the solar plexus chakra, force energy. Remember, fire is the force within us. We are heat, as Brother Rashad Jamal said. We are heat, nigga. That's what Brother Rashad Jamal said. Yeah, he's right. We are heat. You want to know what else we are? We are water and rock. We are a combination of all of these elements that label and describe our one personality. The elements, the combination of the elements are art of our personality. Art, A-R-T, of O-U-R, personality. The 4 major elements are ether being above air, throat chakra. It just all connects. It just all connects so overwhelmingly and beautifully. In my opinion, it does. So once again, the positive energy or the positive personality trait derives from the sacral chakra, or derives from our sacral wheel, the chakra known as, the spiritual power known as the sacral chakra. That's what it derives from. But at the end of the day, let's not forget, all of these here spiritual powers are coming from one place, us, deriving from what's in us to the external of us. These here 4 personality traits, they are lies. These here 7 core personality factors, lies. The 4 views of personality, even though the source is called verywellmind.commercial, still a lie. The big 5, and/or ocean. The ocean model personality traits, lies. What we are at base, personality-wise, are the elements. What we are at base, personality-wise, are the elements. Meaning the elements of the universe are our foundational, characteristical personality traits. Once again, the elements of the entire universe. Art, the combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual's distinctive character. Positive, water. Balanced, rock. Negative, fire, space, air. I'm going to give many examples on this in the future, but for right now I just wanted to record this and put this idea into the world. Tell me what you think about it. What do you think about my summary of personality traits? And then you can go even a step deeper. Watch this. The gravitational force, the zodiac signs, Ophiuchus. I feel you, cuz. That's what the 13 zodiac sign sounds like. The 13 zodiac sign. There are 12 zodiac signs that we know of. And guess what? All 12 of them are evenly distributed and connected to the elements 3 by 3s. Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer are the water elements. So they'll be deriving from the sacral chakra. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, fire elements. So they be deriving from the solar plexus chakra. Then you have, I believe, Virgo, Taurus, Sagittarius. No, that Sagittarius was a fire element, wasn't it? But then let me just say this. The fire signs, they all connect to the solar plexus chakra or derive from the solar plexus chakra spiritual power characteristics. The water signs, they derive from the sacral chakra spiritual power characteristics. The earth signs, they derive from the root chakra's spiritual power characteristics. And the air signs, they all derive from the heart chakra's spiritual power characteristics. You follow what I'm saying? Then you have the 4 fundamental forces of nature. I wanted to say one more thing about Ophiuchus. How to say it. I feel you, cuz. I'll feel you, cuz. What, you a Crip now? No, it just sounds like it when you pronounce it. I feel you, cuz. Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus. That's how you say the 13th zodiac sign properly. Does the 13th zodiac sign have an element? If I was to guess, I'd say the prana, what derives from the throat chakra. That's what my guess would be for it. The other 12 elements all have 3-on-1 elements, but the Ophiuchus, I didn't necessarily see an elemental sign from there. I'm gonna just guess and say that it's connected to the prana and or the ether. I'm gonna just guess. I don't know yet for sure, but I'm gonna just take a guess. Especially with the twin snakes and things of that nature, DNA, RNA. DNA and RNA connect directly to the ether, and the Ophiuchus with the staffs and the rod of Hermes, the staff of Hermes, that symbol there, that's the DNA symbol right there. That's connecting to the DNA symbol. The DNA connects directly to the ether and or the prana of the universe itself, meaning where our life force energy derives from and the character we should be duplicating right now in our current physical reality. But we don't. Why? Because people who are pretending to be in charge of our lives feel like we should be enslaved to an early grave. People who are pretending to be in charge of our lives feel like we should all be enslaved to an early grave. Gravitational force, or the 4 fundamental forces of nature. How can this connect? The gravitational force being of the water. Gravity being of the water. Rock, solid grounds, being of the strong nuclear force. Air being of the weak nuclear force. And the fire being of the electromagnetic force. If I was to stroll it on down from top to bottom, the heart chakra, the weak nuclear force is deriving from that. Maybe. These are just speculations, just tossing out ideas. You don't necessarily have to take it and run with it and be like, that's it. You know, you don't necessarily have to do that. These are just speculations and ideas. Ideas that logically connect and make a little sense to some degree. Yeah, I'm sweating all over. I am. Like I said, there ain't too many places I can go to share these ideas. There is not a single church in the world I can go to share these ideas. Because if I try to go into a church to share these ideas, what's going to happen is everybody in the church is going to turn against me. My goal, or my conviction overall, its goal is to stop any and all forms of killing. Any and all forms of competition, beef, or fighting, what have you. Literal peace globally, a global golden yuga. That's what this conviction is going to manifest ultimately. And if I go into certain places where a lot of people are just not prepared to hear what I have to say, it'll just escalate very, very fast. Makes no difference though, because I still have a way to get it out here. I just wanted to share that information with you though. The 4 fundamental forces of nature, how they connect. The zodiac signs, how they connect to to the combination of our natural character, the combination of our natural character, our natural characteristics, and our natural personality. The 4 elements can be labeled and can be used to label and describe them. Good, water, evil, fire. Am I saying fire is actually evil? No, I'm not. It's a part of us. We are not evil. It's just something that's a part of us. We have a positive charge and a negative charge. We're like a literal battery on the inside. Fire being the conscious mind and water being the subconscious mind. Or negative energy being the conscious mind. No, negative energy is not in our heads. It's a charge. It's an energetic charge. We are not evil in our brains. We are not. Positive charge being in the subconscious mind. And what they overall combine into being the physical root chakra or the physical body. You follow what I'm saying? What do you think about this? If you ever get a chance to see it, think about it, ponder on the thoughts. It's your marvelous mind. Use it however you want to use it. Shalom, shalom, shalom. May these words reach you for the purpose they were constructed and crafted to reach you for, your well-being. These words will always be out here for you. Hopefully one day you get them and utilize them. And what words am I putting out here? Words like peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family.